you know, another goddamn sequel show. Oh, what you know, another goddamn sequel show. La 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 la
Are we going?
Yeah.
Is that red light mean that we're going?
Yep.
Sweet.
Sup, y'all?
How's everybody doing?
Yeah,
Doing
You
good.
guys, I see that you guys are back for more.
we totally are, because I'm Mike.
I'm David.
Kyle.
And guess who's back?
Yeah,
Hey.
Back again.
I'm
Back
Brian.
for more.
I'm back for
Brian's
more.
back.
Brian's back for more.
I wish we
Yeah.
knew which episodes were the most popular, because I have a feeling Brian's is probably
Obviously,
pretty popular.
me. I'm
Yeah.
good.
It also had like really good subject matter, so
It
Yeah.
sure did.
We
feel
talked
like-
about fucking Fast and the Furious the whole time. It was
Yeah.
great.
it was amazing. It was a magical episode. Hopefully you
yeah.
bring the magic to
I
this
doubt
episode
it,
too.
but
Are you gonna freeze up like a little bitch?
I might.
God damn it! Did someone just buzz?
No, not me.
Never mind. Sorry.
It was probably just a recording.
So you guys want to talk about you guys Kyle and Mike saw Guardians of the
Oh
Galaxy.
yeah,
2.
Guardians
you guys
2.
wanna Speak
Yeah.
on that a little bit.
I don't have much to say. To me, it was the same movie as the first one, with a little bit of a longer, unnecessarily long ending kind of thing. I feel like it was just, oh, we're gonna have some like, oh, here's the serious moment. We'll have serious music play. Everyone kind of calms down, and we have people say serious things. It's like, oh, and now it's fun action scene, and now it's comedy scene. It's just, and it did the same. It's not bad. It feels very safe, and it feels just like the first one to me in every way, except for like a little bit of the serious moments are a little less important in my mind
Gotcha.
than the first time around. But otherwise, it was pretty much the same movie to me.
I liked the serious elements. I did. I didn't feel like the movie felt very uneven or anything, but I think it did like what a sequel does. Just kind of made everything bigger, and like we got a little bit more into the characters. But I think the first one is still better. But I think this one was very much a sequel.
Yeah.
Like it was the volume 2. It was the second one.
Yeah, I would agree that I liked the first one more, but I liked it a little bit more because some of the set pieces I like more. I still think that prison break is like the best scene in the first movie,
Yeah.
and I also liked a more clear cut villain rather than this wishy washy plot twisty kind of thing in the second one. I don't like that as much.
Yeah.
I mean, like I get it, and it's not like badly done. I just preferred what was done in
Yeah.
the first one.
The action stuff was way better in the first one too, in my
Mike,
opinion.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 or Magic Mike XXL, which is the better sequel?
Are we talking like just which one would I rather watch again, or are we talking like compared to the first one, how much does it step it up?
No, we're comparing just those two sequels
Just
to
those
each
two
other.
movies?
Yeah,
oh, then
two-
Guardians 2.
Yeah.
But if we're like going to say like how much, like, you know, within its series, how
Yeah,
good is
yeah.
it? Magic Mike XXL like blows Guardians 2 out of the water when
Yeah.
it comes to standing out in its series.
Gotcha.
That's interesting. Do you feel like you were saying that it Return of the King and like ended 20 times? Do you feel like that's because of the post-credit sequences, or is that just how you felt in general?
That's just how I felt in general, I think, because it's like I already, like, the moment he's like, no, you gotta use your heart, not your head. I'm like, oh, I know exactly where this is going now. And then it's
Yeah.
like, and then it went there, and then it just kept on going, and I'm like, we got it. And it's like, oh, I knew he was gonna show up at the end. Like, everyone saw that coming the moment they
Are
talk
you
about it
spoiling
early
this
on.
movie, dude?
Not really.
Are you spoiling this
No.
movie on this
No.
fucking
Not that you'll
podcast?
ever see it anyway, but I
But
don't
for
think
our
we're really
listeners,
doing anything. I did just feel a buzz, by the way.
Yeah, what's this buzz about, dude?
I'm
What's
feeling
buzzing?
a buzz, but I don't see
My
anybody's
thing
phone
isn't even
lighting
on
up.
the
Actually
table.
me. I got NHL stuff
Our
going
hoes,
on.
our hoes texting
No, I
you right
wish.
now?
Did you say
Hoes.
sequences, like plural?
Sequences?
For what? I don't know what I'm
For
talking about now.
you said credit.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
sequences?
like,
Yeah.
dude, there's
Why are there
four,
like
or
four?
5.
Why?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I
like
don't
2
know.
is like, all right, you're getting a little crazy.
Just like put them in the
like
movie.
one sets up another character, I think, for Infinity War. One is a return back to Stan Lee's cameo.
Mm-hmm.
One,
Yeah, it does like one right at the start of the credit. Like, you know, you have that brief little like, here's the flashy end credit scene, and then you have one, and then there's a little more credits, and then you have another one,
Yeah.
and then you
Terrible.
have the rest of the credits and a final one. I thought it was 3 of them, but I could be wrong on that because you're right. It all kind of blends together.
There was at
as-
least 4,
That's too
Wow.
many.
if not 5. Like I want to say there was 5.
Wow.
So
It's too many.
That is a lot. Of
That's a
fucking-
lot. Yeah.
It's too many.
That's
It really
amazing.
was.
And I like watching credits. I don't have an issue with that.
sure.
But
That's just too
it's
much.
too many.
Wait,
yeah.
did you see Teenage Groot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah. There is like fucking 4 or 5.
Yeah, there's a lot, dude.
Oh my God.
Teenage Groot was so funny, man. Like, because like the last one ended. Did you see Guardians?
No.
Brian? Oh, okay. Last one ended. We got Baby
You can
Groot.
spoil it.
for the
I
first
don't
time.
actually care. I
Okay.
will not
But
ever
then,
see
like,
it.
they come in out. It's Baby Groot the
don't
whole
care
time
either.
in the movie, but then there's a teenage Groot at the. And he's just like playing a game, and
And yeah,
Star Lord comes in and is like, "We clean up your room,"
treating him like a teenager. And Groot's
which
smart
I
talking
hope
him.
he is like just more evolved by the time the next one happens, because I'm not trying to deal like it was enough having Baby Groot at the front of this movie the whole time, but to have a teenage annoying Groot, no, I'm not gonna do it.
I don't like teenagers. They're scary to me. They scare the shit out of me.
They're
Like
terrifying.
a group of teenage boys walking down the street unsupervised is like one of the most horrifying things. And speaking of horrifying things,
No, we did Magic Mike last time.
oh jeez, Louise, boom.
Oh, where's
I'll add some. I'll add some.
Okay.
Some rim shots in post.
Nice.
This week we watched Rob Zombie's H2 Halloween 2, the theatrical cut.
Mm-hmm.
Which is gonna become important later, right, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, if we want to talk about it,
I do.
No,
I
not
certainly
really.
do want to talk
I don't
about
really.
it.
I don't care. We can talk about it. So I think Mike is the best. I want to get the synopsis out of the way right away.
All
I
right.
think
Okay.
Mike is the best at like running down.
Synopsis.
Yeah.
Feel free to interrupt
And
me at
wait,
any point.
we should say too, Mike has not seen Rob Zombie's.
He has not seen Rob
I have,
Zombie's first.
Halloween.
I have
Yeah.
not. I'm familiar with the Halloween series, but I have never seen Rob Zombie's
Well, hey,
Halloween
before
remake.
we do synopsis, let's go around like we
Oh,
usually
yeah.
do. Let's
History
talk about
with the
our
series.
history. So I'll go
We're
first.
forgetting our way, guys.
Yeah, I know. We're already fucking off track.
We need a fucking checklist.
We should. We really should have like a whiteboard. in
A
here.
whiteboard.
Good idea.
Okay, did we
Okay.
do the thing?
We said our names. Okay.
Talked about bullshit, and now movie.
Now the movie with 20 minutes to spare. The movie. Okay. So Halloween is like, it is my favorite movie franchise or franchise of anything. Honestly, I love every single one of the movies, even the fucking garbage ones. There are some garbage ones. I've been watching them my entire life, and I don't know, man. I really like it. It's been a part of my life since I can remember.
Yeah. I mean, one of the first things I knew about you is you loved Halloween.
It's the shit.
Like
I
you had a
love it.
T-shirt and shit.
And now I like own too much memorabilia.
Yeah.
And,
But also like not enough.
well, yeah. I mean,
Did you ever get the producer's cut of that one movie?
it comes in the set now, but I
Oh,
never got
really?
like, I never got like a bootleg. Yeah, it finally
Okay.
got released in like the big
Gotcha. Cool.
comprehensive set. So Brian, what's your history with Halloween? I feel like it's similar to mine.
Yeah.
Maybe
Probably
less
like
intense,
less.
but
Yeah, because I was mostly like Nightmare on Elm Street,
yeah.
and then I realized they're like not good.
I mean,
I still like them,
most
but they're
of them are
not at all.
good,
They're
yeah.
not very good. And then I mean, yeah, I switched. Like Halloween's way better.
Yeah,
And
It's like super good.
yeah, I don't know. I've seen them all.
Yeah.
Stuff.
They're great. Kyle,
Gotcha. I believe I've seen every single one of them, but in no
have you
like
seen 3?
certain phase.
Yeah, you've seen 3.
Yeah,
Or
'cause
Resurrection.
3 was one like when I was a kid. I
It's
rented
got
it. And I was
Buster
like,
Rhymes
what?
in it.
Yeah, have you seen
Yeah,
Resurrection?
I've seen Resurrection.
Yeah.
Saw Resurrection in theater.
Yeah.
I saw ever since H2O. I saw them in theaters.
Yeah.
Damn.
So you've probably seen all of them. You've seen 6,
I've seen 6 with you for sure.
5. I don't know if
See,
you've
I
seen
don't
5.
know exactly. Is that
I don't know
Is that
if-
the one with witchcraft and shit?
No, that's or
Or is that 6?
I mean, it's kind of starts in 5 and then
See,
Because like 4
actually,
or
yeah, I
5
don't
is like its own
Yeah, it's
two-parter
kinda-
thing
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
and,
okay.
which is weird because they're like completely different
Is
movies.
that the curse?
Curse is
No,
6.
Curse is 6.
Which one's 5 then?
It's a revenge of Michael Myers. I think.
Yeah,
Of
it's
course
the
it
one
is.
where it's got little girl in it again too,
Daniel
just like
Harris.
4 does.
Yep.
And the
Oh,
thing that I
okay.
remember most about 5 is the ending with the man in the boots.
Yeah, which kind of comes into play in the 6th one, and even more in the producer's cut. It's crazy. The mythology and stuff, like
Okay.
storyline gets fucking fucked up. Like every movie is like trying to catch up. They're like, oh my god, what did the last movie mean? What are they talking about? And they like have to connect all these dots
Sure.
themselves, and it's crazy.
Yeah, so I guess I don't know, but I've certainly seen Rob Zombie.
I think you've probably seen all of them.
Okay.
You're probably just not familiar with all of them.
I mean, AMC especially like used to play them all back in the
Yeah.
day, and
Oh,
I would
yeah.
catch them on there for sure.
Yeah.
Mike.
Michael.
I'm a fan of the series too. My mom was a big fan of the first
Oh yeah,
Halloween movies.
I forgot to mention that. Like that's how I got into. The
That's how I
movies.
got
My
into it,
mom-
too.
My mom was super into them when I was young.
Mom loved the Halloween movie, so she showed it to me.
That's kind of fucked up.
I wasn't as much into.
I like accidentally saw it. That's how I like. Your mom was like, "Watch this, Mike."
Yeah,
You're gonna become
she
a
genuinely was
psychopath
like, "I want you to watch this movie."
And
It's
now
really
you're a
good.
serial killer. So
Yeah, and so it all worked out.
yeah, it's all fine.
Thanks, Mom. Goes out to you, Mom, on Mother's Day.
Can we say
this is a Mother's Day episode technically?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Should we say like what our favorite one is?
I mean,
No?
we can't. That's tough for me though. I don't
Okay.
know. I feel like they're all my favorite.
It's like picking a child.
It's like picking
Because
a
you're
child.
you're so absorbed in like
Yeah,
the
I
whole
like love the
story.
whole
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, I would
mean,
have to
it-
say the first one is.
Yeah.
I
I would
mean,
still
okay,
say first.
me and my coworker have talked about this 100 times because he's a really big fan too. Like, yeah, the first one is like probably the best movie, probably the best made. Like, technically my favorite, I guess. Like, but I can't watch it
even, like,
anymore. I cannot
sentimental
watch that
reasons.
fucking movie anymore.
Really?
I've seen it so many times. I know it front to back. I can't. The only time I ever watch it is like on Halloween. If it's on TV, I'll catch it. And
Okay.
I'll never watch the whole thing. I just can't. I can't watch the whole fucking thing.
Okay.
So I don't know if I could say that it's my favorite because I can't even watch it.
What's your least favorite? That's gotta be easier to answer, right?
Probably, I'm gonna say Resurrection,
Okay.
which I still like though. It's a
Yeah, no, I know
fucking
what you're saying though, but it's
horrible movie, but we
a
should
departure
definitely
for
do
sure.
it on this podcast at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of interesting things to talk about, but it's dog shit. It is fucking dog shit.
Brian.
Yeah. What do you think your favorite is?
God, I don't. It's got to be one or two.
Yeah,
mean-
I mean, 2 is definitely like the original.
Two's really good.
Is up
Well,
there.
and it's like I know we've talked about the difference between 1 and 2 is how like 1 is clearly 70s,
Yeah,
and then 2 it's like you
It's
can
like
tell
80s.
it's made in the 80s because
Yeah.
the soundtrack has
yeah.
just
the
like
soundtrack is fucking sick. In
yeah.
the second one.
There's
It's all fucking
there's a difference in
synthesizers.
there.
Wow, 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 wow.
Now John
That's
Carpenter
John
did the
Carpenter.
music for
Yeah.
the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He also directed the second one.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I was unaware of that.
Oh wait, no, he didn't. It was
Oh.
he wrote the second one, or he wrote part of it. It was Rick Rosenthal did the second one. Who also I'm pretty sure he did Resurrection also.
I was gonna say, didn't he come
Whoa.
back for a
yeah,
later one?
I think he did Resurrection. So he
came back
He
for
has
more?
like one of the best and one of the worst movies in the franchise. I'm gonna have to double check on that when conversation starts because I don't want to look like a fucking asshole on this podcast since I just got done saying how this is
I'm a
my
big
favorite.
fanboy. Look at me, you're wrong.
I'm not a fucking fanboy, dude. Okay, there's a difference. We'll get into it during this podcast, but there's a fucking difference between me and some of those idiots that fucking love this franchise.
Okay.
Fuck them. Fuck everybody that likes these movies.
Sure.
Okay,
that's
so
a broad brush you just painted on. Fuck everybody
yeah,
that
fuck
likes these
everybody.
movies.
You know what? Fuck everyone. Not even.
Oh, okay, all right.
Just fuck everyone in general.
then we're in the clear.
Stop listening to this podcast. I hate you.
But don't.
Do we go through? What's your favorite?
His was
Yeah,
the
mine's
first one.
Oh yeah, the first one.
I'd have to say first one also for me, but I do really like Halloween 2 because I feel like that. I feel like that's the one that like kind of upped the ante a lot.
You know
Like I
what?
like the kills in in Halloween 2.
Yeah.
And I like the hospital setting because that's
Dude,
like a place
yeah,
that's like
yeah.
supposed to be sterile and
the
helpful.
first like 20 minutes, and this is gonna come back to H2 as well. First 20 minutes of the original Halloween 2 are like some of my like favorite minutes in movie history. Period. Like when he's like walking through the alley and stuff, and it's like all POV, and he like there's that scene where he walks into the old couple's house. Do you remember that? She's like making a sandwich for the old guy that's fell asleep watching Night of the
yeah.
Living Dead.
Of
And
course
there's
that's why
this
he fell
like
asleep
shot
watching.
of him in the foreground, and in the background they're both watching the TV, and then Michael Myers like pops up in the back and steals the knife and walks out. It's like one of the best
That's
scenes
awesome.
ever in movies. Period.
And I just love it too because it's like in the first Halloween, it kind of establishes that he just keeps getting back up.
Yeah.
But it's like he has the ultimate "I get back up" moment right at the start, where it's like he's just been fucking shot and dropped out a window.
Yeah, and he's like,
'Cause
poof.
At the end of the first one, does it actually cut to him on the ground and he's gone, or do you?
No, I don't think so.
I was gonna say I didn't think that
now I'm
happened
gonna look
until
like,
the
I'm gonna look
second.
like a fucking moron again. I don't remember.
I thought that only happened in the second one.
I think it does. I don't know. We'll have to double check on that too. We're gonna sound like fucking moron. You know what? I
This
don't
is
even like the
frustrating,
movies.
'cause,
I don't even
like-
like the movies. You know, I was
Wait,
lying.
did it happen in Rob Zombie's Halloween? Because I feel like it was the opposite. So like, if in
No,
Rob
it did
Zombie's
not.
Halloween, what
What do you mean?
did he like?
Oh.
Was he on the ground and then wasn't?
Like, what are you talking? Are you talking about his second one or
No. In his
At the end of the first.
at the end of
At the
Rob
end of
Zombie's
the Rob
first
Zombie
movie,
first
because I
remake.
feel
Yeah, yeah.
he did whatever the original didn't do, if I recall
at
correctly.
the end
so
of Rob Zombie's remake? I'm trying to. There's like two endings to it. I don't like that movie anymore. We can talk about that. It's like two. I was talking to Kyle about this, but it's like two okay movies smashed into one fucking garbage movie, and I don't like it. But he like they think they kill him, and it's Dr. Loomis and Laurie in the car, and they do the line from the original that's like, "Was that the boogeyman? Yes, indeed, I think it was." And then he like breaks through the glass and takes her again into the house. And then at the very end, which this will lead right into H2. That's
so he's carted away.
Yeah, he's carted away.
So in the original, then I do think he is there, and then he's not there.
He might. I don't know. Well, I would have to check it out again. So anyway, we went through the whole history with the franchise. Are you looking up something?
I wanted to look up if he got away.
Did he? In the first one?
It's hard to tell.
Okay, well, you know what? We're just
I
gonna
need to do the synopsis because we're moving past it.
We should. We're gonna start talking about H2 right now. Synopsis. Yeah. I can start it for so. I don't know if you know. I mean, obviously, kind of from the movie, you can tell. But like H2 starts like literally the second that Rob Zombie's first Halloween ends.
Yeah, where
like literally the gunshot is where it starts. But anyways, you can continue.
But yeah, Michael Myers is dead. Everyone's dead except for like Laurie and her sister and Loomis. And they're all carted
it's not
away.
Her sister, but
well, yeah, like stepsister or something.
No, she is gonna get confused. It's like from the original. It's Annie Brackett, so it's just like her friend.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
she just like in H2, she lives with them because everybody else died, basically.
All right, no, that makes sense.
All right, so continue.
But then they're all. She's taken away to a hospital. Michael Myers escapes. Shows up at the hospital, but then it turns out it's all a dream. It was all just a dream, and it's a year later.
It was all the dream. Yeah,
and so it's a year later, October 29th.
Hey, that was not a dream. That was a fucking nightmare. Okay. Good call, Brian.
Yeah.
Jesus. Continue.
What kind of dreams, people? That's insane.
It's just a regular dream, dime a dozen.
That's a dream that I have every night.
Every night, yeah. People being murdered in front of me, and then a guy gets me. Yep. The regular dream.
I mean, you think that is like a dream for her every night, or is that just because it's getting close to that time of year?
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean, though. But like,
well, see, this is interesting. This is interesting. This is something that would differ, I think, from the director's cut to the theatrical. In the director's cut, she's like way more fucked up than she is in the theatrical. So like, I don't know. I can't remember if she mentions it in the theatrical, but like, yeah, that's a dream that she has all the time. Like during, like at the breakfast table or whatever, she's just like, "Did you hear me last night?" or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "It was the hospital one again." So like,
yeah.
So it's like a thing that happens all the time.
Okay.
So yeah, continue.
In the theatrical that I watched, that line is in there, but it implies that it's more of a recent thing when she's talking to a therapist, and the therapist says, it's Halloween time, it's kind of a trigger point for you, so it implies that it's like, because it's maybe even the season kind of does it to her. But anyway, it's a year later, October 29th, and Laurie's all fucked up because she escaped the killer, and we get some fun little house fun moments where it's like, oh, here's Laurie's life nowadays, and then I forget, does it like show... Does it show Michael doing his mommy stuff at that point?
Yeah, that starts like pretty much right at the beginning.
Yeah, it starts like showing that Michael's still around, but he hasn't really done anything in the year except grow a gigantic fucking beard.
Giant beard. A huge beard.
He's kind of roaming.
And he's having like one of the biggest differences between H2 and the original franchise in general is that you get like a peek inside of like what Michael thinks and sees and stuff, and he has like visions of his dead mom and this white horse, which is really bizarre, but I love. But yeah, you can like Rob Zombie basically made him more of a human, I would say, than in the original franchise, which is what the fanboys fucking hate, and they can suck my fucking dick. Okay? You hear that, pussies?
But then the third string we got going on is Loomis is capitalizing on his experience and all that kind of stuff too. So we kind of got these three story strings of it's like Laurie's fucked up, trying to lead a normal life. Michael Myers is slowly working his way back into town, killing everyone in his way. And Loomis, meanwhile, is capitalizing on the misery of others. And he's kind of a dickhead about the whole thing.
He's a huge cocksucker in the movie. Yeah. He's, again, difference between the director's cut and that, he's even worse. See, the director's cut makes all of
cranks
the people...
it up to 11.
The director's cut is even more of a Rob Zombie movie in that all of the characters are fucking pieces of shit and you don't care about any of them.
Okay.
Like, you don't even give a shit about... Like, Laurie's the biggest bitch I've ever met. Or I've ever seen in any movie ever. And, like, you don't even care. Like, you're just like, whatever. Like, fuck her.
Go ahead and kill her.
Yeah, just
do it already.
I felt that very much in
But it's even worse.
Yeah.
It is even worse in the director's cut.
just cry.
We can get to... It's not even crying.
What
It's
about-
crazy shit.
What about the sheriff guy, Brad Dourif?
I think he's a. What do you mean?
He's one of the best parts.
I was
think
gonna say,
he's-
like, is he a dickhead? Because he's
no,
like,
no, he's
No,
the same.
man.
He's pretty much the
Okay,
same.
okay.
There's actually one of my biggest issues with the theatrical cut is there's a scene that got like shortened with him, which was like one of the best scenes in the movie, which we can get to when we get there.
Okay. But anyway, those are like kind of the three strings going on, and each day it's getting closer and closer to Halloween, and everything's kind of getting cranked up and amplified in that regard. And it eventually breaks because Loomis's book comes out on Halloween, and in it he kind of spoils that Laurie is actually Michael Myers' sister.
Angel Myers.
And
Tell your dad Angel says fuck you.
and Laurie finds out, freaks out.
Angel says fuck you.
is really more accurate.
Yeah. She does a lot of crime. That's for sure.
So much
Yeah.
crying.
And by that point, Michael's in town.
He's ready to get
And so
down.
it's like it's like, you know, it is family reunion time because
Yeah.
Michael hunts her down, kills all her friends, takes her away, and that's when Loomis shows up too. So it's like one big goddamn reunion of everyone.
Family is forever, which is
Yeah.
the tagline of this movie.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Loomis shows up, tries to talk Michael down, but we know there's like some fucked up shit going on because Laurie's all crazy because it's like she's seeing the mom now too, and she's seeing baby Michael, or not baby, but like little child Michael. And so it's like everyone's all fucked up. Loomis dies, and Laurie gets institutionalized because she's probably all fucked up now.
Yeah. That's the whole movie.
That's the entirety of the movie.
That is the theatrical cut of Rob Zombie's H2. So I just want to get right into like how we feel about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm going to start. I fucking love this movie. I love almost everything about this movie. Yeah, I mean, they're like literally the only problems I have with the theatrical cut. Like I said, there's so many fucking differences between the director's cut and the theatrical. The only things that I don't like about the theatrical cut is there's the scene at the barn, like that cool like barn party or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I love that scene. But like I think that Michael Myers shows up there for no fucking reason and then he like magically appears at the house when they show up. I think that's fucked up. I think there could have been like either he doesn't go to the barn party or
Yeah.
like another scene in between it to like make it make sense.
Sure.
So I don't like that. And then there's a scene where
Wait, so like, is that scene not in the director's cut?
no, that's not. I mean, there's like a couple differences, but it still is like
Like he still shows up and kills that girl?
he still just shows. I mean, it's still the timeline's pretty much the same.
Oh, okay.
And then the other thing that I don't like, well, the two other things that I don't like is the scene where Brad Dourif shows up and his daughter's dead or whatever is like really, it's a lot longer in the director's cut, and he has like some really good like emotional stuff. And in the theatrical cut, it's like literally like he shows up and there's like no audio, and then it like dissolves to the next scene. Basically.
Yeah.
So that I think is fucked up, and then the ending is completely different in the director's cut.
I don't like the director's cut ending.
I like the director. I honestly think that I could make like a fan edit of this movie between the two and make like a far superior movie. But like
It's interesting that you say that because I also agree.
I think that the director's cut ending is better.
What happens in the director's cut ending?
And the director's cut ending. Okay, so let me explain a little bit more in
Yeah.
detail what happens in the theatrical.
Okay.
I kind of glossed over it.
So Michael takes
As well as everything else.
Michael takes Laurie into the shed or whatever. So Laurie's starting to see small Michael and then the mom, and there's this whole struggle between the two. We don't know what's going on. Fucking police chopper shows up and everything gets fucking crazy. There's a bunch of cops around, including Brad Dourif's character. And they're trying to get like a clean shot on him because they don't know what the fuck's going on in there. And then Loomis shows up because he sees it on the news. He's in town for the fucking book thing or whatever. And he has like a little spat with Brad Dourif. He gets punched, and then he ends up going into the shed because he thinks he owes it to everybody to try to settle whatever.
As Michael's former psychiatrist.
Yes, as Michael's former psychiatrist. So he goes in there, talks to him. At that point you realize that like nobody. I mean, obviously you knew it already, but you see like little shots of Laurie not being held down by anything. So you're like, this bitch is insane, whatever. So then what happens? Michael kills the fuck out of Dr. Loomis. Like he like first he slashes up his face, and then he just like starts stabbing through his face. He's like so dead. That's ridiculous. Like that's the most dead anyone's ever been in a Halloween movie. And then when he's doing that, somebody gets a clean shot on him and shoots him a bunch of times. He falls into something, and fucking Michael's almost dead.
Yeah, he becomes impaled.
Yeah, he's like
or something.
spiked on like some fucking farm equipment.
Yeah. which seems ridiculous. But then I heard in the commentary, Rob Zombie said that was like that was just in the location. So they were like, okay, well, I guess we can use that.
Yeah.
That'll be a way that he could die.
He falls on it.
But so then Lori, which I don't mind this ending up until Lori goes up to him and she starts crying and says, "I love you, brother," and then stabs him, and then walks. I like the imagery of like her walking out with the mask. Like I think that's pretty cool. And then
I was hoping it was going to end on that.
Yeah, and then it fades to the whatever, she's in a fucking white room and she probably went crazy. So let's go to the director's cut, which is completely different. So everything is the same. They're in the shed, blah, blah, blah. Loomis shows up. Instead of stabbing Loomis to death, Michael Myers, like Goldberg, spears him through the shed, outside of the shed, takes off his mask, yells, "Die!" and stabs Loomis to death. And then he gets shot a fucking million times, is laying on the ground. Michael's dead. Lori comes out, goes up and grabs the knife, and then she gets shot and dies too. And it still fades to like the white room thing, but it's like that's like she's dead. That's like her afterlife, basically.
What the fuck?
Wait, why do they shoot her?
Because she goes up and grabs the knife.
And then what? He's gonna run at somebody? Like,
Well, I think they were thinking like she's going to like make sure one of them is dead. I don't know. She just went up and grabbed the knife. I like that ending, but I think that ending would be better on the theatrical cut, and then add like another scene in there, and I think that would be like the superior movie. That's my.
I'm just a little torn about this knife situation.
Yeah, the shooting Lori
She
with the
picks
knife.
up it's like if she picked up the knife and then like started
The
walking
shot
towards somebody.
The shot was like an accident. It wasn't like not an accident, but like
Yeah,
it wasn't Brad Dourif.
Yeah,
it
doesn't
was
it-
like somebody else, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I'm pretty sure it shows
so
him
there's a
like.
negative reaction, like whoa,
yes.
what the fuck are you doing? Okay,
I mean, he doesn't say like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
well yeah, but
Well, doesn't it have him like
Ceasefire!
mouthing
Yeah,
to
something.
like
He's
not
like-
shoot or something
yeah,
like
something.
It's
There's
not
something.
audible, but it's there. I'm pretty
There's
sure there's
something.
like a clip of him like yelling to not do it.
Oh,
and then
also,
they do it anyway.
gotcha.
the Halloween music is not in the movie at all in the director's cut.
Oh.
Okay,
So in the theatrical cut, the only time it comes in is during that part, I think.
Yeah, that's the only time I noticed
In
it.
the director's cut, it's like this. It's like a remix or like re-recording of "Love Hurts" because "Love Hurts" was in the
credits.
First, it was in the first movie, and they brought it over.
So it's interesting. Yeah, I feel like that ending would have served better.
Yeah.
Like it's like the studio apparently was like, no, that's not gonna work for us. Do
Something
this
like
weirder fucking ending.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. And honestly, I would be okay with the theatrical ending without the fucking "I love you, brother"
Love you,
bullshit. Like, just cut that part out, and it would be fine to me. Like, it wouldn't be perfect, but it'd be fine. That line sucks, and I fucking hate that
I
line.
feel like half of
There's
her
quite a
performance
few
just feels
lines
like
that are
Rob Zombie was like,
terrible.
just be a teenager. Just say whatever comes to your mind because
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some of that. It feels like, like he wanted her.
did he
that's-
write this?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's fucking awful at writing dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like
Unless
literally
it's, like,
he's literally the Kevin Smith of horror movies. Like,
Yeah.
like it's like, I mean, nobody talks like these people.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I can see past that. I don't know. It's just that's just his. Like the thing is like that's his world. Like that's how all of his movies are. All of his movies have this garbage dialogue, and that's just how his world is. That he makes movies.
It's like an
in.
auteur in that regard.
And he is, and people don't like these Halloween movies because he brought it into his world, and it's like, what the fuck else do you expect him to do?
Yeah.
Like, are you a moron? Like, why would you think that he wouldn't? Like, it's so stupid. Right? We can talk about that later. I love the movie. Like I said, I think I could make a better edit out of the two, but like I think overall the theatrical cut is better than the director's cut.
Sure.
Yeah, I love those are my only gripes about it. Other than that, I fucking love it. It's like weird to me because when we first saw the movie, remember all of us left like I don't know about that movie.
After watching it, I have no idea what I thought. Honestly,
The first time that we went and saw it at like the midnight showing when it came out, obviously.
Yeah.
And we all left, like me and Jessica went and saw it. We all left and we're like, I don't know about that. But then I like watched it 7,000 times. Like I couldn't stop watching it after that.
yeah.
And it like
You
grew
feel
on me
addicted
like a
to it,
fucking like a disease. And like now it's like seriously one of my favorite movies ever. And the same thing happened to me when I rewatched it for this podcast. I watched it once. I think I watched the director's cut once, and then I was like, I'm gonna check out the theatrical cut. I haven't seen that in a really long time because it's barely released anywhere. I watched that and I was like, damn, I think that one's better. I think we should do that for the podcast. So then I told Kyle about that, and then after that I watched both of them again with the commentary. I just can't, like, once I watch it, I don't watch it for a couple years, and then I watch it one time, and then I just can't stop watching it. I just keep watching it over and over again. But yeah, I love it. What do you think, Brian?
I also love it. I don't know. I think it's like visually it looks incredible. The colors, some of the
Why
colors
did I
in
even
it,
skip over that? That's like
fucked it all
that's literally.
Shut up, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's my turn again. You said what you needed to say.
I'm sorry, Brian.
You brought
I'm
up
sorry.
colors. Great point.
I feel very passionately about this movie, so I'm sorry. It's only quick. I also love how this movie looks. Like I think I wrote a paper in college about it. Like how much I fucking love it. There's like I don't know. It's great.
Yeah,
Continue,
no, just
Brian.
like some of the scenes with him walking through fields, and it's like that's all it is. It's him walking in a
nothing's
field,
happening, but-
or even like towards the end where I think he's walking into the barn, and there's like the light coming from like the top left, but it's only in part of the screen. I don't know.
There's like an absence of light in this movie that I think fucking serves it greatly.
It's
and it
really
looks
fucking good.
amazing.
Yeah, I thought
Sorry, that was my pop, y'all.
I mean, if I had to like guess, I don't know if the first one was shot digitally or like on 35 millimeter or whatever, but it certainly has a cleaner look to this one, which was clearly probably shot on either dirtied up film or like 16 millimeter.
Are you saying the
I'm not
first
sure.
one is cleaner? Then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying that this. I was like, what?
Yeah,
No.
I actually did like this one visually more as well.
Yeah, that's great.
But sorry, Brian.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, whatever.
That's not the
Do
only
you
thing you
have-
like about
no,
it.
I mean, I like a lot more about it.
Are there
It's
any
like,
things that like stand out to you that you don't like? Like, are there things that bother
there
you?
some of the I mean, going back to some of the dialogue.
Yeah, the dialogue
Like when
is just
specifically it was when Brad Dourif's character found out, like before he found out, when they called the sheriff's office to like announce that his daughter was dead, or it was like, it was really shitty because it was just like, I have something important to tell you, and he's like, what? And like,
Yeah.
there was a call from your house, or no, it was like there's
It was
a call
like-
coming.
there was like-
so what? And it's like,
Yeah.
it's from your house, and it's just like
That's-
that's really fucking shitty.
to be
it's such a
fair-
terrible dialogue.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's like partially pulled from the original Halloween 2.
I mean,
like
I
that's
just-
almost like one of the in the original Halloween 2, one of the cops runs up to Brackett and he's like, blah blah blah. There's a blah 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 blah. One was in. It was like the same it was like the same beats. It was
just
different
like a
dialogue, but the
callback
same
in a way.
beats. It was just like
Oh.
there was a call.
I was gonna
from
say there was
blah,
like
blah,
a
blah.
4-step process of that conversation where
Yeah.
I was like, "Sir, there's something crazy that happened." Well, what is it?
Yeah.
There was a 911 call and someone's dead.
Why are
they
well,
from
you
the South?
you
Did you
sent
call them?
someone out
Everybody
on it,
talks.
right? And
Everybody's
he's like,
from the
"Yeah,
South.
yeah, we sent someone out, but well, then what's wrong? It was from your house,
Yeah.
sir."
I mean, I think that would have worked if it was like a 2-step thing instead of 4.
Yeah.
Like if it was like,
I agree.
we got a call, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, what is it? He's like, it's from your house. Like that would have been good.
Yeah.
that would have been fun.
I just feel like it's. I mean, if it was from the second, I don't remember it
Not
being
like the
initially-
dialogue isn't.
Well, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
no,
saying
I
like
know,
the
but
meter of it is
yeah.
similar.
But it's like, I feel like if it was really an important thing, they would have just kicked in and been like, "Hey, there was a fucking call from your house."
Also, can we
it's so important.
That's the thing that I was feeling too, because as an audience, we already know that.
Yeah.
So it's like this whole like leading it on is like, why?
Yeah.
Because
It's the
we already
sheriff's
know
house.
he's over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We
His
already know
daughter-
he's kicked in that door.
Yeah.
So it's like they should be bursting into like, holy shit, he's here, sir. And like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, let's go.
Yeah.
Can we talk about her fucking hair for a second?
I
Do
don't
you remember
remember it. No,
she
I
had
don't.
like Princess Leia hair.
Oh.
She literally had like braided buns over her ears.
Yeah. I
That's
was
fucked
into
up.
it.
Well, that was the style back then.
I
Right?
mean, like I'm. What do you mean back then, man? This is like
Yeah.
current. What 2010? Back then?
What?
What?
I thought the videos, like the fucking, there was shots of television. It was playing old shows in it, wouldn't it?
There was like one old show and then one Night of the Living Dead, which is like plays every Halloween.
All right, whatever. I was thinking it was like older. No one had cell
No,
phones or
this is,
anything,
like-
did they?
This is, I'm pretty sure it's like. I don't think they,
They had
say.
cell phones in it, didn't they?
I don't think they say specifically.
know.
I don't
Actually.
think they did. No.
I don't think they say specifically when it's supposed to take place, but I'm almost positive that it's just it's like supposed to be
Yeah.
assumed. that
It
it's,
did
like,
feel kind
around.
of timeless. I will
Yeah.
say that. Like, it
Yeah.
didn't feel like it took place in a certain
Which
area,
maybe
but
that
I
was
thought
the
it was
intent,
supposed to take
yeah.
place earlier because the only times I saw things that would set up a time period were like the TV screen and it was a black and white show and stuff like
I
that.
think that's just like Rob Zombie doing his thing.
Yeah,
I don't think that.
know.
I don't think that was like an
The
intentional.
way the teenagers
Okay.
acted was not like
Yeah, it was not.
something.
That was
from-
like the
I don't think I
2000s.
knew. I was
for
trying
sure.
to
I didn't think
think
the
of the
teenagers
cars,
acted like
but I don't-
anything real, so I didn't.
I think she.
I mean, Buddy's car was fucking old.
Yeah.
I mean, at least 90s, so it was like a Taurus.
I think.
Or something,
I think it was.
but
I think it's
it-
supposed to. I think it's supposed to like not have a time.
Yeah.
No, that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Also, the scenes with Buddy, the security
fucking
guard
love
at the
that
beginning.
shit,
It goes back to the
Oh,
beginning. The
yeah,
hospital
yeah.
area is the best, but the scene where he goes out of it to go get his car, and it's just like nothing happening and her freaking out.
It's
so good.
It's
great.
the best.
You're right.
Yeah,
Dude,
there's
I
so
love
much
that
tension
hospital
there.
Scene.
Buddy,
That's great.
buddy, you still there, buddy?
And Octavia Spencer, like
great.
who's just killing it these days.
Also, did you guys?
As
You
just a
probably
small
you
develop-
may have recognized her. The other nurse in there. It's the lady from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I forgot her name. It's the main.
I don't remember.
Stretch. It's Stretch from Texas Chainsaw.
Oh,
yeah,
the nurse that walks off.
Yeah, the nurse that's talking to Octavia. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Anyways, it's
dude, Octavia
useless
Spencer,
trivia.
dude, she's so good. Like she comes and she's like,
Oh yeah,
and
that
it
scene
was
is
like
amazing.
so legit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I believed every second, and that's why she kills it. She's
Yeah.
always in small roles in movies, and she kills every bit
she
of it.
fucking destroys.
Well, and with that, it's you hear him grunt when he
God, I
strikes,
love that
and like
shit.
I'm into it because it's like he's clearly putting a shitload of power in every swing.
Back to the fanboys. Hey,
yeah, they
fanboys, you
don't
could
like
suck
that.
my dick. They don't like
People
that.
don't like that.
Because Rob Zombie like made him more human, and you
Yeah.
can hear him and stuff. I mean, you
That's
can hear him
ridiculous,
throughout
'cause-
the franchise, which is one of my issues. Like they don't like that he grunts and stuff, but like he breathes through his fucking mask in every movie. Like it's just you can always hear him.
It was for me, I didn't like the grunting as much, but to me that was
He's one
like
of those
more of like
fuckers,
it was an inconsistent grunt because it's like there's times that he grunts and then times that he doesn't. And I was
Yeah.
like, I would be totally okay if he was like making noises and grunting if when he's like lifting up the car or doing other crazy things, but he only grunts in like the hospital scene, which is what made me think, oh, that was her dream, so it wasn't real. It was just how she imagines him, and he's not going to be grunting at the other points. But then he also grunts when he's like killing the hillbilly lady, and he grunts a couple other times. But it's like I'd say 80% of the time he's not making any noises except for like
say-
maybe some breath.
I'm gonna
And I
say
was
that
like,
you're-
I would be okay with him making noises if it was just like I don't know.
I think you're like way overthinking.
I didn't
Yes.
notice any grunts, so or lack of
It's like-
grunts.
It's like
or-
stabbing people. It's just
No,
it
but I mean,
feels like it adds power. You feel like that's how
It's-
much strength he's
it literally
putting into.
it makes it so much more terrifying
Yeah.
to me. But I don't think. What was that noise? Did I just hear a noise? Is that Michael Myers, dude?
No, it might just be me messing with my phone.
Okay, I like the grunts. I think that you are like. I think the reason that you don't hear it all the time, like you hear it in specific, I think it's like important when you hear them, because like when you hear them is like.
I'm just saying they stood out to me when they happened, so I didn't
But I
didn't
think
notice
it's
them
supposed to.
other times.
I think it's
so-
supposed to though. I think that's intentional, because like the times that you hear it is like when he's in the field, which is like one of the best scenes in the movie in my opinion. When he's in the
with the
cornfield,
hillbillies
yeah.
and stuff. Oh yeah, that's
But
one of
it's like-
absolutely.
that's like a wide static shot, and there's no sound or anything. And I think it's just supposed to like emphasize like what he's doing. All the other ones, like a lot of the other kills, like there's just like shit breaking and people are fucking freaking out, and it's just like not important that you hear. Like it's not just like a static shot. Those are just supposed to like make an impression on you. I think so. I think it's intentional. I think it works fucking flawlessly, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Kyle didn't even know that it happened.
yeah.
No, but cool.
That's amazing. He literally sounds like Paul, like in Have Fun. He's like, "Rawr!" It's so good.
What I'm saying is like, I mean, I didn't notice the grunts, like, because I guess you guys are coming from a point where like you never heard it before.
Yeah.
But like I was just watching this movie for the first time in a long time. It's just like I just took it as he grunts all the time. You know what I mean? Like
No, yeah, he doesn't.
He does
grunt.
not. Yeah.
okay. What else did you like or dislike
I
about
don't
the movie?
remember.
He said a lot.
feel
Let's
like I
move on.
hit,
All
yeah,
right,
I
well,
feel like
yeah,
I
we'll
hit
talk.
my
Well,
points.
actually, let's go to Mike first because I feel like he's gonna have a different opinion than everyone else potentially. Let's go to Mike.
I do have a different opinion because I actually didn't like this movie.
I figured.
When I was watching it, it reminded me a lot of like classic slashers,
Yeah.
where things get weird. There's a lot of family involvement too, and stuff like that. And there's a few twists along the way, and you have your oh, here's the different plot threads going on kind of thing. Like I was getting like Nightmare on Elm Street vibes a lot of the times, where it's like there's these. Like not just because they're dream sequences, but it's like you have this like otherworldly kind of stuff going on, and I'm reminded of like the Son of 100 Maniacs kind of plot thread from Nightmare 5, and then it's like, and then you have this like twist where the family's involved, and I'm reminded of Nightmare 6, and like so it's like I was getting like nightmare vibes out of this, which isn't a bad thing because I like that like nostalgia slasher film feel, because I feel like too many slashers nowadays are just like either Scream copycats or something with no substance whatsoever, and it's literally just like a guy going around killing people with like nothing else to back it up. So it's like I liked that kind of return to like, hey, we actually got like this kind of like weird somewhat fucked up story going on in the background with these different plot threads of like real characters. And I also appreciated how like no one did anything like overtly dumb except for the throwaway kills.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like see a moment where I was like, oh come on, no one would like, you know, when Brad Dourif is like finding out, oh shit, he just spoiled that she's Michael Myers' sister. He puts a guy with a shotgun in front of her house because he knows there's going to be fucking crazy angry people in this town that are going to want to fucking murder Michael Myers' sister. Yeah. Like that makes so much sense to me, and it added emphasis, and it added a great moment where it's like, oh, this is the first guy that's going to get killed when Michael Myers shows up, and it's like I loved that because it's like other movies wouldn't think to do that, and they would like might even like have him go over there for no reason or something like that, and Laurie Strode finds out on her own, separate from the rest of the world, that she's Michael Myers' sister. There's a lot of things that I liked about it. Yeah, it's like I did like the characters, even though I felt like a lot of the dialogue was kind of sloppy. And
yeah,
weird.
that's how I feel. Like I do enjoy the characters, but like the dialogue was just shit.
I love Dr. Loomis in this movie.
I do too, man. A lot of the fucking fanboys don't like him because
I loved it
because it's
so
so
much.
different, and I fucking hate when people make remakes and then fanboys get upset that it's different. It's like, what the fuck did you want?
You want to see the same fucking thing?
You want to see the same fucking movie, and then they'll complain that it's too much. It's just a copycat of the first one.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
To me, Dr. Loomis was such a great character because he's adding a great dynamic to the movie of a guy who's making money off of
not only that,
everything that's terrible when everyone else is just trying to fucking deal with it.
Not only that, but I think it's more realistic. Like what would happen. That's what I love about this movie is like, even though there's like fantastical elements about it and there's like it gets crazy and stuff, I think it's like more realistic than any other Halloween movie that's ever come out.
No, I can totally get behind that with like the stuff that the characters do and the way the story progresses. I do feel like it has a good amount of like realistic character interactions and what they do. And I just love Dr. Loomis's character because of that, because like he's, in my mind, like in my headcanon, Michael Myers was one of his like 200 patients he's dealt with over the years, and he just happened to become the famous one because he goes on a killing spree. And Dr. Loomis is like, oh, hot shit. Yeah. Like, you know, one of my guys went nuts and I get to make money off it. And I love that that's his character. I love that dynamic that he adds to the story because he also is, he's dealing in heavy plot stuff where not only is obviously he's telling more about Michael Myers' past and things like that as it goes on, and you're seeing clips and the town's reaction to Michael Myers overall. But he also spoils Laurie's death, or Laurie's sisterhood with Michael. Yeah. Whatever. Like, Laurie's being the sibling of Michael. So he does add to the plot, too, and then he shows up at the end. And I love that he just gets fucking killed, too.
He just gets
There's no sort of
so fucking
redemption or hero moment where it's like, no, I have to do this. And in my head, I'm thinking like, he's just gonna get fucking killed. Yeah. And then he gets fucking killed, and I'm like, he's dead. Yeah. You had it coming, you piece of shit.
And
I love it.
Not like I said earlier, he gets so dead. Like, it's not just a regular kill like in a horror movie. He is dead as fuck. Yeah, like,
he's not coming back.
He is wiped off the planet.
He's not in Age 3.
I mean, everybody kind of got super killed in this.
Yeah.
He didn't just like stab anybody once.
No, he was all
straight.
Back to the screaming.
Fucking breaking backs with
destroyed people.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
And then I also, despite like, you know, like you guys were saying, sloppy dialogue, I did like the Laurie Strode stuff. I like the idea of this person that had to deal with a terrible thing.
It's completely opposite.
Trying to progress in her life.
It's completely opposite of like the original like franchise. Yeah. See, in the original franchise, she's like the good girl next door that like, you know, you're supposed to love and whatever, which is what she is in the original, like the first Halloween. But then, you know, in the second one, she's still that. But then in this remake, she like completely like it literally fucks up her entire life. And she's like a shit person basically after that.
Well, especially when she finds out that she's his sister.
Yeah, she's like,
she
fuck
just
it.
gets
She's like, fuck
drunk.
it all.
Like, I think that's part of the director's cut too, isn't it? They cut some of it out. Like she partied
she
a
was
lot
like,
more.
She was drinking like in a room and stuff. There was like a whole
there was a lot of that. Like she was
Yeah.
But I love that. I love this kind of after the killer stuff. Yeah. I love this like post horror movie stuff going on where there's a guy capitalizing on it. There's people just trying to go on with their daily life. And there's Michael that's still out there, kind of a loon. It's like I liked those kind of bits. It sounds weird me saying this, but I liked the fluff more than the actual movie.
I can see where you're coming from with that. Like one of my favorite scenes.
But that's usually the reverse of my opinion on things.
One of my favorite scenes is like the very first it's the dinner scene where they're eating pizza around the table. That's like one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. And it like cuts back and forth between them eating pizza and then Michael eating a fucking dead dog. And she throws up in the toilet or whatever. People don't like that scene either because she has like she's like starting to like feel what he feels and stuff. But like, dude, that's straight out of the original fucking franchise. Like people don't understand that. Like I've heard people say that Rob Zombie doesn't know the franchise, and that's why he shouldn't have made the movies. He fucked him up. He knows that fucking franchise inside and out better than fucking anyone because he peppered in so many different things into this movie that come straight out of the originals, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, I noticed the I don't even know.
That was great.
He also put Weird Al in it.
That was great.
Chris
called him
Hardwick and Weird Al.
Mr. Weird.
Mr. Weird.
And that's great.
No. You continue. The story is great.
It was your answer was fascinating. That shit was great. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But anyways, you're saying all these positive things. So like, what makes you not like the movie?
Everything else, really.
Like what? Like explain.
Well,
like, what do you mean? Because you named like a lot of the movie. Like when you were just saying, you're
that
like, I like
you
this
liked?
thing, this thing, this thing.
Well, I feel like that's all the fluff. Like the actual movie is about Michael, like coming back and killing people and killing his or like trying to get his sister and his sister going crazy and like seeing things too. I didn't like the mom stuff. Yeah. I didn't like any of the.
I mean, I could see why people didn't like that, but I personally did.
Yeah, I didn't like how many dream sequences there were too.
Yeah.
It ended up like making me wonder like what's real and what isn't, which maybe was a good thing. But then it also made actual things happening a little less impactful for me too, because like when Annie dies.
Yeah.
At first I was like, oh, is this another dream sequence? And I'm like, oh, I guess not. Okay. And it's like it had less weight to it when it first happened because I was like, oh, this might be a dream sequence. Yeah. And so it's like the weight got spread out over that time until I realized, oh, it's not. And then it was like, okay, yeah, then it actually did happen.
I think those things are like you can. I mean, it's fair that you don't like them. I think that's all intentional though. I think it's supposed to be like kind of blurry throughout the movie, like what's real and because I don't think the movie is about Michael Myers coming back and trying to find his sister. Like this movie to me is about Laurie Strode pretty much only. Like it's only about her like going crazy and finding something out. And it's the rest of the movie is like trying to like figure out. It's literally I think the movie's about trying to figure out what's real, like the difference between what's real and what's fake. Like one of the best things about this movie is that Michael Myers wears the mask for maybe I don't know like a minute total in the entire movie.
Sure, yeah.
He only puts on the mask
when he's killing.
So like it kind of like acts like a shield. Like what is he seeing? Like what is real? What's real to him? What's actually happening? I just think it's like a really cool dynamic.
I took it as more of like when he's out in public because I feel like that was
but
the
he's
whole
like
reason
walking
he started
through like
doing
fields and shit, and like kids see him on Halloween without the mask. Like I don't think
it
was necessarily like an out in public thing.
I guess.
And there's
I
also
thought that was the thing with the first one.
There's also
like
a scene where
to
he's like in a
become
shed by himself, like with the mask on.
Oh, okay,
like it's, I think it's more than. I think like I don't know exactly what it is, but I think there was more behind.
That's interesting.
Like when the mask is gone and when the mask is off.
And I can get behind that kind of stuff. It's just that for me, if it's not about Michael, there's an awful lot of bullshit about Michael and his mom, probably to like, tie into the Laurie part. But then it's like we have like, and I know slasher movies gotta have the kills, you gotta have them.
Yeah.
But it's like you were talking about that killing in the field, and I couldn't have been more disinterested.
That is like one of the best scenes in the movie, though. Like
I know you guys were talking about how, it looked great and all that kind of stuff. But it's like I just like there's three people that I know are gonna die, and I know Michael's gonna kill them, and then I just watch it happen. And then there's a strip club with three people that I know are gonna die, and then I watch Michael kill them.
That one, I think. Well, I mean, that's a little bit different though. Like I don't know if you could catch it by just there's like one shot. That's where his mom worked in the first movie. So like there is a reason that he went back.
There's
there.
like they have like a thing out front that's like home of Deborah. What's her name, right? Deborah Myers. Like that was the strip club she worked in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little bit of like we're just kind of cleaning up some
Yeah,
shit.
we're just cleaning up shop.
Did it actually like go into that a little bit more? Because all I got from that was this guy's a sleazeball and he was on TV and he's gonna get herpes from the hooker or whatever.
Yeah,
No,
no,
no.
go into it more. No, like
Or was it literally just
Again,
like that
it's
one
as a sequel,
bit?
and you do not see the original.
yeah, like it's just in the original. Like that's why you should.
know.
Oh,
It's in the
okay.
original.
Okay.
Like yeah, she's
like
like a
that
stripper
creep,
there.
yeah, and treats her like shit, like
Yeah,
everybody else.
this is all from the original. So like that's one thing that like I don't think that scene is necessary still. Mm-hmm. But like again, like some of the kills are great, and it's just like if you knew a little bit more about his first movie, I think it makes a little bit more sense. I agree that like the kill in the field is like narratively it doesn't really matter at all.
That's
But-
what I mean. Like that's what I'm talking about.
But I
Is it's
don't
like I
think
have
that's-
these three plot
I
threads
think
going
that-
on with Loomis, Laurie, and Michael.
I think
and
the-
Michael's the only one that's not carrying his weight because it's weird dream shit or it's unnecessary kills.
I think that that's just for me. That's just because the movie's not about him. To me, it's about like he.
But then,
he is,
but then get
he's
rid of
the-
that stuff or
he's
cut it
the-
out. Like slim it down a little bit and replace it with more Laurie and Loomis stuff. Then
I don't know.
I feel
think
like
it's fine, but,
that movie was literally cut into thirds with Loomis, Laurie,
yeah,
and
it
Michael.
is. Yeah, it is.
And I feel like each of them have equal airtime and everything.
They
and I
do,
feel like
but-
Michael's the weakest link in that. And that sucks because he's like the killer in the movie.
We're gonna have to
And I
agree to
feel like he
disagree.
should have been a stronger link.
I cannot agree with you on this.
No, it's fine.
But
it's fine.
what was I saying? Oh, I think the least important kill in the movie is when he kills Harley in the van.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wolf
that's pretty.
That's
yeah.
That's like I like that whole scene. I think it's great, but like that kill means nothing, and it doesn't make sense that he's there.
It doesn't do anything narratively.
But
at
like,
all.
so if that kill would have been out, I would be 100% fine with the kills. Like all the other ones, I think are fine. Everything should stay in. But
and I did
yeah.
like the kills too. Like
Yeah.
I like the stomping on the face and
oh my
all
God,
that kind of
scene's
stuff.
Great.
It's just that like for me, it's like I was just like that was like the bad side of the old slasher sequels. Is it's like just like hey, it's time for someone to get killed, so we got to kill someone now.
Yeah.
It's like and then I like it in like the old ones when it's like there's like a gimmick or a twist to it and that kind of stuff, but I didn't feel like this movie had it. I felt like it was just more Michael going and just stabbing people really fucking hard or hitting them really fucking hard. And while that
really
has its own
hard.
weight to it and it has its own meaning to it, it's like to me everything else about this was more of a classic slasher except for the kills where it's like the classic slashers would get wacky and creative with their kills too. And I know this probably isn't that kind of movie for it.
No, it's not. Like that's why I love the kills. So they're just like so dirty. They're just like so like down and dirty. Just like I'm just stabbing the fuck out of these people. It's great. And a great thing about the strip club scene after he goes in there and kills everybody. Again, it's straight from like the original movie. He sets up. I watched a YouTube video on.
Yeah,
like,
he
a
sets
review.
up the dude.
He sets up like a little haunted house, which he did in like all the other movies. He does.
Yeah.
He like kills all the people separately, sets them up in there, and then the last person like finds them. Like that's straight out of the fucking
Yeah,
original
that's
franchise. It's great, dude. Like he sees the stomped guy's head.
Yeah, and
you
he's
know?
like, whoa!
Yeah, and he's like
freaks out.
running through the. I thought he was great in the sleazeball.
Yeah.
Like he didn't really do much for the story, but I just thought he's a great like character actor for that part. But yeah, anything else that you didn't like? I mean, just Michael was the weakest link for you. You didn't.
Well, I feel like the things I liked collapsed under that weight because every time there was stuff I was liking happening, it went to something I didn't like happening, and it kind of it tarnished it at that point where it was like it's like I like the Loomis stuff, but then it's like it doesn't really end up going anywhere too much. It does have a lot of connections to the story, like I was saying, but it's like it felt like there could have been more interaction with Loomis and the rest of the story going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was a
I'm
missed
glad
opportunity.
I'm glad that we disagree on this, but like you're saying things you don't like about it that like actually kind of make sense. Unlike everyone else that fucking doesn't like this movie, suck my fucking dick. Everybody else is just like, I don't like the horse. Why do we know why Michael's doing stuff? Why is he so big? Why doesn't he wear a mask the whole time? Fuck you,
No,
bitch.
I didn't mind the horse and the mom and stuff like that as what they were. I just didn't like I didn't like them.
Yeah, no,
Like
I get what you're saying.
I guess that sounds weird. Like it didn't bother me that it was Michael Myers was seeing the
You
stuff
just
and
didn't
that
like,
it was giving him a
aesthetically,
motivation.
you didn't like that there was a white horse in the movie.
Yeah, and I didn't like the weird scene with the three dudes with masks at the table and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
see, I was fine with all that. It was all arty and cool. The thing that's great about it is like it is like such a Rob Zombie movie. Like again, if you had taken my fucking advice and watched his first Halloween, you would be like, whoa, because the first one is just like a clean, like the first half of it, it's like 40 minutes of a backstory, like Michael as a child, which is the best part of the movie, in my opinion. Everybody, all the fucking fanboys hated it. Fuck you. But, like, that's the best part of the movie. And then after that, there's, like, 30 minutes that is, like, a very sped up, shot-for-shot remake of the original movie, which I just think is garbage, dude. It's just stupid.
It
but
sounds
it's
like I would prefer Halloween 2. Then.
I personally think you would. But, like, I think that like that's part of like my love for it too, is that like the first one is like obviously very studio like involved, like you have to do this, it's a Halloween remake, you have to do these things. And the second one he was just like, fuck off, dude, I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. And I love movies that say fuck off, and that's it's just like the epitome. You're making your like weird,
it's because I realized how I can summarize my whole feelings about this movie.
Go.
Is it's to me personally, it is a generic slasher movie that has a really cool idea of it being a post-slasher event, where it's like you have all these characters and things going on that are like dealing in the aftermath of what happens during a normal slasher movie, and I loved that stuff. But then it's all encased in just a generic, by the numbers, in my opinion, slasher movie. And that's the disappointing thing. I like this cool idea.
I don't know why you got so excited about that summer. Like you already said that.
Yeah,
like
I did.
You said that like that's like that's what you've been saying over and over again.
Well, I found a way of shortening.
I wish you would have figured that out.
You could have just
sooner.
done that first. That would have been great.
I found a way of shortening.
You know what? I'll just edit out half
I think
of
you're
this
on like 10
podcast
minutes of just you.
All right, so we're gonna get off of you for a second, and we're gonna go to how Kyle, because it's been like 30 minutes since you started talking. Kyle, how do you feel about this
we're
movie?
like almost an hour in, and
yeah, we have you and I have like a long history with this movie.
Yeah,
we went and saw it the first night, whatever. And how do you feel about it now after seeing this theatrical cut a second time?
I very much dislike it.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting when you were like, "Let's jump to Mike," because I feel like he's gonna have a far different opinion. I feel like that's actually.
I mean, I kind of figured that you wouldn't like it this time.
But my main problem, like, I'm actually taking a weird approach to it, and the way Mike does some things, and like, I would have just made it far differently.
Yeah, that's like such a bullshit thing to say, though.
No, I know. But when I was watching it, I realized like, I fucking hate all of these Mike Myers murder scenes.
What do you mean?
All these unnecessary kills. I hated all of it. Like, dude, I know you guys like your hillbilly scene. If I had to choose one, that could stay. Because I think narratively that establishes that he's been in this wooded area for a while. Because he's like, we told you not to come back.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
I get that. I do love that. I just sort of wish the movie, and it sounds like the director's cut does some of this, I really wish the movie would have like just made like Michael Myers this roamer that shows up like towards the end and kills her friend, maybe is like the first kill we see. If we even have to see it. Yeah. I felt like that scene would have been much more powerful, especially with like the going to the sheriff and being like, "Okay, from your house." If we didn't see it, we just saw the aftermath or something. Yeah. But like, I don't know what it is. I feel so lame, but I was just like, this is so gross.
Yeah, you're a pussy.
I know, and I feel like I've never done that really before, but it's just like, I guess I've been thinking a lot about the original lately, where there's like 5 or 6 kills if you don't include animals.
Yeah, but this one
and
comparison,
those are they're clustered too.
I know, but this is these like
comparisons.
20 kills.
These comparisons, I hate these comparisons.
But I'm just saying
it to the original. That's
no.
That's not even fair.
I'm just saying it's just like it just became too much for me, and everything was gross. Like it was just far too much to me.
I mean that's a fair.
That's not even my main complaint.
I just want to. That's a fair critique, but again, you can't expect it to be different. It's in Rob Zombie's world. No, all of his movies are like that.
And I like Rob Zombie movies, so they're all kind of gross in that way. Like I still think Lords of Salem is probably my favorite movie of his, but or Devil's Rejects, which is crazy grotesque. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking, but like when I'm just letting you know how I feel when I was watching this movie. I felt we were getting far too much Michael. I do actually love the mom and White Horse stuff. I just wish we were getting like Romer bearded Michael in just these random bits. Like we don't really know what he's doing. Yeah, we know he's going to show up obviously at some point, but then maybe just establishing the family, bringing him back home while he's roaming and doing that shit. And then I think the main focus got lost where it should have been all about Lori and her dealing with this. Where I feel like that was very much it came in like 1/3 of this movie, and I feel like that really is the focus part, is how fucked up she is, and I feel like she can actually play a pretty good fucked up person. And then Loomis, having that, the tragedy of this whole event, and then having Loomis, the guy profiting off of that, like that would have been interesting too to see more of that. But I loved, actually, I did not put together that like the sheriff was worried about how the public's going to react to her being Angel Myers and putting the sheriff outside. I thought he was worried about Michael.
I think it's both. I think it's supposed to be like kind of both. I think he's like in the back of his mind. He's thinking
that would have been such a more interesting plot element if there was like a danger in the public too, and you know.
Well, I thought that's what the whole setup with Loomis was. Is like these people are so fucking pissed about all this.
Yeah, they
and
are.
All those people died.
I agree. I just don't think anything was like established enough. It's like they were touching on these things, and you know you can draw your own conclusions, whatever. But I feel like it would have just made far more interesting movie if they would have dived into more just the psychological aspect. Because this movie, regardless of what I've complained about with all these random murders, is still very psychological.
Yeah.
I just feel like if they would have just like focused more on like that story, like her like this book is coming out, like just all this public opinion about the whole situation would have been a far more interesting movie than seeing all these. What felt like half the movie it wasn't literally obviously. But Michael Myers just killing people.
I think it's interesting that you guys have a problem with all the kills and stuff, because I'm like counting them in my head, and there's like I think that they made more of an impact on you than like they actually were for screen time.
There's the ones in the hospital, which are the ones that I thought were okay and good because that whole hospital sequence is fucking great.
The hospital sequence is great.
But then there's the dudes in the van right off the bat,
and those guys are just like gross to me. I'm like, good. I want you to fucking die.
But I also didn't need it at all. I love that scene. I love.
There's the hillbillies.
There's
the strip club. And then there's the people in the van.
Completely unnecessary. Does nothing for
honestly,
and then there's actually
one super unnecessary one. But I mean, yeah.
And then there's the actual like going to the house, Annie and the friend and the cop
which
outside.
That's like the powerful kill. That's the only one like we really care about. That's the one that
has weight to it, and it even has like a moment where the mother's like, "Let's have some fun," and I was like, "Where was she at the other kills?" kind of thing.
But I'm not saying, Dave, that it was like necessarily bad for this movie, but I feel like if they would have just cut back on that shit, they could have focused more on
understand
what the actual substance
I understand
was.
what you're saying. I just like when I watch the movie, those are like it's not even like that's not the focus. Like it doesn't. There's not too much. Like honestly, I could take more kills.
But if it wasn't
add
there,
some more kills.
What I'm saying, if it wasn't there and they got to focus more on that, like that's what I'm saying. You said you could do an edit. Like I completely agree.
Yeah.
And like I think if you could take out half of the stuff they show of Michael Myers.
Like like I said, I understand what you're saying, but like I've watched this movie 400 times and I don't know what you got. Like if I made an edit of this movie, I would take out maybe one of the kills. That's it. I would keep all the other kills.
I really wonder like if we could clock it. And be like, oh, this is a Loomis bit, and we could all like vote, like, is this a Loomis bit? Yes, it's a Loomis bit, and then clock how long that bit takes.
Yeah,
and we just
I think
we go through the whole movie.
I think
that
screen
way.
time for Michael is probably more than like Loomis, and I think Laurie kills everybody on screen time.
Mm-hmm.
I
would totally agree with that.
Laurie is, and that makes sense to me. Like it's a movie for me. It's a movie about her and whatever.
But we never get enough time just in on her to like really see what she's going through. We
like,
just get these
in the director's cut. You do, and it sucks. Yeah. It's bad.
There's more with her
garbage,
therapist,
dude. Okay, so one of the let's do some comparisons. Compare and contrast. So in the theatrical cut, right after she wakes up from the dream or whatever, it's her and Annie talking, and she's like, did you hear me last night? Blah, blah. It's just kind of like a fun, in the director's cut, it's the same scene, but it goes on for like 2 more minutes. And so the scene ends in the theatrical. This is so, I should have just picked who cares what cut it is? This is so confusing going back and forth.
I mean, I feel like I would have had less problems with it if it was the director's cut. It sounds like.
Yeah, but it's like a far worse movie, and I would be very upset at you right now. Like, I would be literally screaming in your face. Because it is like objectively a worse movie. It's over 2 hours long. It's just like shit. It's not good.
If I could take a page from Kyle's book where Kyle took a page from my book and say how I would have done it, I would have had a lot of the Michael backstory and stuff like that, more in depth on like Michael and the White Horse and all that kind of thing, be done via Loomis, where people are asking him about it and stuff like that. Because while I dig the Loomis character and the Loomis stuff, a lot of it is just reiterating the same point. He's a dickhead and people don't like him for what he's doing. And it's like they tread that ground a lot, and I feel like there's more to that character and that dynamic he has in the story of a guy profiteering off the people's loss than just people are going to be mad at him about it. I feel like they could have done a bit more with Loomis, buffed him out a little bit more, made him more interactive with the other characters maybe even. Yeah. And I feel like the time you would spend on that, you just shave off from Michael Myers stuff. And you get Michael Myers stuff with Loomis because Loomis would be talking about it. You may even be able to toss in a flashback or something like that. I don't care. I feel like you buff out the Loomis stuff a little bit, make it a little more important, and you shave that off of the Michael stuff.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to
You
what I
wanna
was
be my
talking about.
friend? I love that scene.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
part's
that's my
great.
favorite scene if I had to pick one.
Okay, so anyways, back to the
Are
fucking,
you a giant?
Back to the fucking breakfast scene right after she fucking wakes up from the nightmare.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Cool.
So anyways, her and Annie fucking hate each other in the director's cut. They are not friends.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they hate
good.
each other.
Good, because Laurie is clearly taking
No, it's bad. It's
front
not
fucking
good.
front
It's not
street
good.
with the 'cause she's the one having all the problems. I get it. It's like a fucking favorite child now. You know what I mean? And
It's literally bad. Like in the director's cut, it is just like, yeah, fucking. Like I know you don't like most of the characters in this cut.
I
but
would
like,
say I
in
want to watch
director's
the
cut-
director's cut, except I don't want to see most of this movie again.
In the director's cut, it's just like bad. I just want they're awful. They're just all like the bad characters are even worse, and it's just like fuck all these people.
Unfortunately, then I'm just taking the stance of like I think this movie was made incorrectly.
Yeah,
Like,
you
it's
are,
not
you
like-
are
it's
taking
not
that
like we can
bullshit,
save
that
it
bullshit
and stuff.
stance. Yeah,
But like I know, and that sucks because not who I am. But like literally, like I just see this great story in here that just was like cut up.
that's what's interesting to me though
that's-
is that like you guys, your problems with the movie are not the problems.
Not
that,
what
like,
I was expecting.
Well, no, it's not. It's not. It's not the problems that like most people have with the movie.
Yeah.
Like you guys are saying, it's a great story. It was just made like kind of in a different way than you would have made it or whatever.
Yeah.
But like most people are like, the story sucks.
See, I don't.
And
that's so stupid. They're
I
idiots.
agree. That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to do this
you,
movie so bad.
fanboys.
Fuck you, motherfuckers. Suck my
Yeah,
dick.
if the complaints people have is like, Laurie's crazy,
Laurie's
Loomis is
crazy.
an asshole,
Yes,
and
yeah.
Michael gets an explanation behind what he's doing.
Yeah.
Those are all the things I like.
Exactly.
Yeah, their motivations are all great. Like
Yes.
these characters are real, and like I'm with them on the story. Even if Loomis is being an asshole, like you can't fault him for it, and he does do the great character arc where he tries to come back and save it at the end.
Yeah.
It's awesome that it doesn't work out. For some people, it doesn't. But like, yeah, so I was really into all these characters. It's just again, it just felt so like
Also, I wasn't a fan
featuring
of the
so
ending
much
either.
Michael was just, I think, the problem because I think we knew what his intentions were, especially if we used the mom character. But I just felt it kept taking us away from getting to really see how these characters are responding to their situations. And again,
can
if
disagree
I
to
could make
disagree.
one change, though,
Shut
too,
the fuck up.
I just wouldn't show what's her name, the friend,
Which one? There's two of them.
the close friend, the one that he hates in the director's cut. You said
Annie?
I wouldn't show Annie's. Like, I think that would have been such a better moment if we didn't see that. And then, yeah, we're with the police chief on this, like,
We
fighting
barely
this
see it
out.
though.
I know.
like-
But we know it happened.
Well, yeah.
And I fucking hate post slowdown. Like,
Oh
slow
yeah,
motion.
some of that
Awful.
shit. There's
Awful.
like 3 or 4 scenes
Because
where it's post.
because you probably
slow-mo.
think the same way. It always comes to me as like, oh, this was not an intentional choice.
No,
it's
that's
something you did on the
That's
editing
what
side.
if
that
you
ruined it.
slow down in post only and you don't overcrank when you're shooting. It was literally a post decision,
Yeah,
and that means it was
it's
not supposed to
choppy,
be
gross.
So like that's like off the bat, like right
I mean,
off the
someone's
bat.
like, "Oh, we can't include this last bit of the shot, but we can stretch it out to make it."
or we
fit,"
just
kind of
want it,
thing.
we want it to be more impactful, but it just like makes it look sloppy.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
It stands out to me.
So like one of the worst ones is like right after he does the kills in the van at the beginning, and the first time you see the white horse, and he like slow. There's like one walk
Yeah.
where it's just like slow motion. It's just like, okay, that looks like garbage. That looks like actual garbage. Like it sucks because I think the movie like is shot beautifully like throughout, but then there's these like little bits and pieces that look like fucking dog shit, dude.
I kind of wish I could have watched the movie. I bet I would have a slightly different reaction if I could have watched the movie without that scene where they kill those guys in the van. Because that's when I just realized, it's like, what the fuck is this? Where they were just talking so, like...
It's a rob.
be-
Like,
that
I
is,
understand it, and I want them to die.
dude.
Like,
There's
I get
like,
that, but
like
it's just
okay,
like...
let's rewind and go to his first remake.
I know.
One of the first scenes is the fucking stepdad in the kitchen saying, "I will skull fuck the shit out of you." That is the Rob's. If
I know, I get
like,
it.
You
I get
wanting
it.
that to not be in the movie is you wanting someone else to direct the movie, which didn't happen, so it's
I know.
impossible.
I don't think
that is such a Rob Zombie-ism that people don't like, and it's just like, well, he made the movie, so fucking deal with
No,
it.
I know. But again, it's just if you got rid of that stuff, like, it would just solve my situation.
I guess I could say
seems
that. It's like
amazing to
you're
me.
right that the kills may not take up as much time, but there's so much fucking setup for them, in my opinion. Especially the strip club one, where it's like he's watching himself on TV, and I'm like, oh, okay, these guys are all gonna die, cool. And it's like, and it's just like, he's talking about himself on TV, and his friend's a jerk, and the girl's hanging
way,
off his shoulder.
Does
And
that motherfucker come back in that band party scene as
Yeah.
like really?
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
the same guy.
I was like looking at it. I was like,
Yeah.
All right. That's funny, though. That's
I
fun.
don't know, man. I think those are all. I understand what you're saying. Again, I understand where you're coming from, but like,
But you're wrong.
You're,
That's fine, that's
you're
fine.
like super wrong, and I'm right, and fuck off.
I just like.
those.
I
think those characters, like those are good moments to me. Like, man, I don't know if you guys were like just anticipating something different than I like. I watched the movie and I'm like, yeah, the strip club scene is like not super necessary for the narrative, but like I like that character. I think he's I think he's hilarious. I think the things that he's saying are funny. I think this guy's an interesting character.
Yeah.
And then they get murdered. He gets his fucking face stomped in, and it's like cool.
I know,
like
but
that was a good scene.
Just picture it without it, though. You know what I mean? Are you
Yeah,
missing
I-
anything?
Well, the reason I'm doing it is because I'm just like I just sat and watched the movie. I just sat through the whole
Probably
thing.
like an hour ago. I'm
Literally,
assuming.
yeah, just a little while ago.
That's what I figured.
And
No
I
time to digest.
no,
anything.
just raw feelings,
Everybody
raw
else,
emotions.
which is great, but like all of us is like, whatever.
But
I mean,
I just
also
look, I'm
wrapped
like,
it up
there's
at,
all
like,
these things I
45.
like.
figured you guys.
There's all these things I like, and then there's like there's those bits where I'm like, oh, I know what's gonna happen now. Let me just sit back and watch it happen, and there it goes, and okay, and now we're back to the movie. All right, cool. Like that's the way I felt every time
I don't
Michael
get
started to
taken
kill
out
someone.
like that, though.
Yeah,
I-
that like didn't happen.
I
to
guess
me at
maybe
all.
taken out is the wrong word, but it's like the stuff I like was happening, and then
Yeah.
this other thing happens that I'm just like, it's not bad, but it's just not interesting to me at all.
Yeah.
Listen,
And that
I don't think Rob Zombie shouldn't have directed this movie. I just don't
just think he did a bad job.
We got as good of a Rob Zombie as we could.
I disagree, dude. I think this is like either like it could compete for like his top 2-3 movies out of all of the movies. Because okay, let's run it down. Let's run down all the Rob Zombie movies.
we
for a
got House of
second.
Thousand Corpses right
I
off the bat.
fucking hate that movie. I don't
Oh,
like
really?
that movie. Yeah.
Actually,
Rewatch it.
I kind of
Rewatch
enjoy
it, bro.
No, I did a few years ago.
It's not good.
I enjoyed it.
It's not very good. So you just have bad taste in movies. That's
What
the
came
whole
next? Was it Devil's
I
Rejects?
said I
Devil's
enjoyed
Rejects.
it. I didn't say it was great. Like, I
Devil's
just enjoyed
Rejects
it.
which I think is a fucking fantastic movie. I
is.
think we can all agree on that,
It's very
right?
good. It's
So
very
Devil's
good.
Rejects was really good. His first Halloween, bad. Not a good
See,
movie.
I really like it.
When's the last time you saw
I
it?
mean, a few years ago, but
Watch it again. It's not good, dude.
I mean, I'm
It
insane.
ends-
I haven't,
no,
I haven't
like
seen
listen,
him
I'm
in
a
a
guy.
long time
Like, I
either.
hated
so
it when I first saw it.
It ends three
Sorry, I didn't mean to
times.
interrupt you,
It's
Brian.
too long. It ends 3 times. It's 2 okay movies smashed into one.
Yeah.
It's even more, dude. It's even more of a Rob Zombie movie where everybody sucks. It sucks, dude. It's not a good movie. It's not a good movie.
I love all the kills in that movie. Like it's weird. I don't. I'm just.
There's literally a pointless rape scene in the first movie.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
No, I
a woman
understand
just gets
that,
raped
yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's like a little less necessary than some grunting and kills. But maybe that's just me. Maybe you guys are rape apologists. I don't know. You guys love rape.
Do the fanboys love
Don't say
Rob
that.
Zombie's first Halloween?
No, I think they like it more, but they don't. They still don't. They're still not like fans of it.
Anyway.
They dislike the good part of Rob Zombie's
They like
first Halloween. They like the shot for shot remake part at the end. They don't like the backstory. They hate the backstory.
Yeah.
Why do we need to know in the original?
So they-
he's a force of nature. Blah blah blah. Shut the.
So they
fuck
just really
up.
have a problem with humanizing Mike Myers.
Yes, they do, which is like one of the best things that I think Rob Zombie could have done for the franchise.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it makes it scarier, and I think it makes it more like relatable. Like these things actually could happen.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. I think it's great. But okay, so Halloween, terrible movie. We all agree on that. Halloween 2, I love it. You guys don't like it. Brian likes
yeah,
it.
I like
Brian
it.
likes it.
I like it.
What's the next one called?
Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem. I also love that movie. That's up.
See,
in
I
there.
feel like that's kind of on par with what he's doing with H2, right?
Yeah.
He's getting weird.
Yeah, he's getting
And
really.
I love
weird.
that.
Yeah.
But I think he had more time.
Well,
And
well,
got
Lords.
to really
Okay, what happened
flesh
with
it
Lords
out
of
in Lords.
Salem? See, this is the difference. H2 was still like, he's making like a studio movie with all this. Lords of Salem was like, everybody hates you because of H2. So he's like, all right, I'm doing 100% of what I want to do.
And there we go. So you get full
But
Rob
I think,
Zombie is what I'm saying. It's
I
like,
still
don't-
think H2 is better. Like I think it's more. It's like a cleaner movie. Like overall, I think it's like more balanced than Lords of Salem was just like. I think it's great. I think it's one of his best movies. But it's like I don't know what he was trying to say with it. Basically, I think in H2, like it's more clear to me.
Yeah.
And is that it?
and
I mean, I know there's
and then
31.
is his Magnus Like
Is that the next?
That's-
Yeah, I think
that's his
31. 31
crowning
is
achievement.
31. Like you know how you said that Starship Troopers was one of your least favorite movies that's ever been made. 31 is like literally my least favorite movie that's ever
Wow.
been made in the history of movies.
Damn.
It's fucking garbage, dude. It's not even a movie. Like I can't even like I don't know how somebody could call it a movie. There's no plot. There's no narrative.
It sounds like you feel exactly how I feel about Starship Troopers 2 then.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know anything about that movie. But it's just like there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like you don't care about the characters, not in the sense that they're bad people and like they're bad characters, but like they aren't characters. It's just like a bunch of like Rob Zombie isms thrown into a movie, no backstory, no nothing, and then everyone gets killed basically. It sucks. It's fucking horrible. But yeah, I mean, back to the point of this, I mean, H2 is easily, for me, in at least the top 3 of his catalog of movies.
Sure.
Well, it's a catalog of what?
Like
6?
6? Yeah. It's
So-
okay, though.
It's in the top half.
I mean, that's a better...
But it's also one of his favorite Halloween movies, which is a big...
That's
big-
true, because that's a bigger pool of movies. And would you say it's your favorite Halloween movie?
I mean, it's up there. It's probably in the top 3 of Halloween movies.
It's in the top 9 of Halloween movies for sure. How many are there?
I mean, there's like... I don't know,
There's a lot.
10.
Is there 10?
something.
Well, because there's 6.
There was
then
6, H2O, Resurrection.
and then these 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, but I mean, H2, not even just Halloween. Like, H2 is probably one of my favorite movies,
Yeah.
period. I think it's great.
Obviously.
Yeah, I've said a lot of. This is like years of like pent up frustrations with people talking shit about this movie that I just got to fucking
Yeah.
jizz all over your eardrums. So I feel good right now. I feel very
Good.
relaxed.
I mean, I'm glad. I think
You let it all out.
I'm sweating
I
a
think this
lot.
has been
It's,
a great
it's very warm in here.
it is warm.
This is kind of like a therapy
Still
session
very
for
comfortable.
Is this one of your favorite Halloween movies, Brian?
I don't know.
Like in the top?
Probably, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
One of the better ones?
I didn't really think
Make a
about
fu-
it.
make a fucking
I
decision.
didn't think about it that
right now.
deeply.
Think about it right now.
Dude, it's not. We have a gun to your head and you're like, wrong answer, you're dead.
I mean, just kill me. I don't even care.
I mean, life is bad.
That's a
old.
great answer.
We're not gonna.
I don't
we're not
actually
gonna hold you
care.
to this. I might
you-
love H2. In
Do you
like 5 years.
understand how old Brian is? He just had a birthday.
Thursday.
Oh, happy birthday, man!
It's late.
Hey, I want to
Sorry,
have.
What'd you
dude.
get me?
Have I ever told you like, how old he is?
No.
Like, guess how old
You
he
want
is.
I don't wanna
13
do
going
that.
on 30 on VHS?
I'm going to say in the 30s.
It's yours, bro.
Yeah, but
Sick. I'm going to just shoot for
Actually,
the
you
middle,
can't have that,
35.
though.
yep,
I'm sorry.
just turned,
Nice.
he just turned 35. He looks like he's 18 still, though.
We went to a rich person's Toys R Us, and they were very glad that we left.
Oh my god, dude, we were getting
you get eyeballs?
Yeah, dude.
It's like straight.
Dude, we were
hard.
like,
It was-
we were the poorest people there.
Was this in like one of the suburbs, like
Yeah.
St. Charles or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it in St.
No, the St. Charles one was cool. That was all.
No, St. Charles was first, wasn't it?
Was it?
St. Charles was before.
If you guys
it
were
was
coming,
Crystal
were you
Lake. Yeah,
coming
this was
from
the St.
DeKalb?
Charles one. This was the St. Charles one. They did not like us there.
Yeah, they're just like, look at these fucking poor pieces
It's about.
of
It
shit.
was a lot of like very fit, attractive people. Like if
They
you see
were.
rich
Everybody-
people, they're all
everybody's-
very
Did you
attractive.
see any diversity?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
then it's
not,
a rich
not in that
neighborhood.
town. No, there was nothing. All right. Anyways, we want to wrap this motherfucker up since I've been talking too much and I have cotton mouth. And
I was going to say, I feel like we're at 2 hours now, right?
We are kind of far.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
pretty deep in.
Don't
here.
worry, there's some stuff you can cut at the end there, I'm sure.
No, I mean that's all staying in for sure. 100%.
Shit.
That's 100% staying.
That's the
in.
whole episode.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna cut everything else out.
You wouldn't.
It's
All
gonna
right.
be, it's gonna be
Thumbs
a
up
few-
or thumbs
You need to
down
air
around the
your
board,
grievances.
gentlemen.
I mean, I don't
This is
even know.
pretty
I don't
predictable.
even know if this is like necessary for this
Is it?
episode. Okay,
We're going to have a half and half?
thumbs up for me.
Yeah,
Brian?
I got a thumbs up.
We got 2 thumbs up. What do you think, Kyle?
It's down for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's there's one caveat to my down. Like it's gonna be a thumbs
Why
down.
do you always have caveats?
God
caveats?
damn it.
Well, it's just because I gave
Next week you'll have
Jaws
an
3D
addendum.
a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And I've been feeling bad about that because now
It's a
every
bad
time I
movie.
give a thumbs down, I'm gonna have to be like, I gave Jaws 3D a thumbs up though. But it's like I have to give us a thumbs down. I can't recommend it.
It's fine. You guys are wrong, and the only 2 thumbs that matter are me and Brian, so it's fine. So next week, me and Brian will be back for more.
We'll find a new
Yeah,
friend.
stop it.
Find a new
I
friend.
don't need any new friends. I'm just kicking them off, and it's just gonna be us from now on.
Hell yeah.
Oh, what you know.